If you're using a property management company, one extremely important thing for you to do is you absolutely must get photos from the property management company. So you must get photos anytime any work is done. Sorry, excuse my appearance. I actually poked my eye not long ago. So any work that the property management company is having done in the property, any contractors they're recommending to do work, you should be getting photos of that work. Any move out inspections, anytime a tenant moves out, you should be getting photos of the property condition when the tenant moves out. So I'm in a property right now. This sounds kind of made up, but the owner actually is in the Congo. She was using a rather large, well-established Philadelphia property management company, a recognizable name, and they were just god awful. So we're taking over management now, and we've had so many hurdles with the company. But I'm in the property now, finally, after fighting them for a long time. They've been holding this woman's property hostage for quite a while. We finally got the keys from them. So just want to give you a quick rundown. So I'm in the property now. Let me flip my camera around. And let me show you the quality of how they've actually, so they're charging her $2,700 without providing any proof of what they've done to get the property tenant ready. If you can see, before we even get in the door, we actually have a pretty bad, super filthy door. And then when we get into the property, you can see the distressed condition it's in. So I wouldn't put it on the property management company, the flooring, unless they recommended to the owner to get the flooring done. But they actually charged her to have the property painted. And as you can see, it's not a wonderful property to begin with, but they actually painted these stairs brown. Again, I don't know if we can actually blame the property management company for that. It certainly isn't the color choice I would have went with. But you can see actually the workmanship is just god awful. And, you know, so this woman, again, they just sent her a bill for $2,700, claiming that they're not going to itemize, they're not going to explain the expenses, they're just saying that's what they charge. I don't know if you can actually see. So you can tell somebody actually just painted in here. And there's paint everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And if you were this owner and you actually lived in the Congo, as she lives in the Congo, look at the paint everywhere we walk. They came in here and they painted everywhere. There's paint. You know, I mean, even painting these doors brown, you can see where they just did what they wanted, where they wanted it. Same thing, paint everywhere you go. They just didn't care. You know, they just came in here, they just kind of slapped paint in the walls. Submit the bill, you know, and you can see here. I mean, look, I mean, is this rentable? Is this in tenant ready condition? Absolutely not. I mean, and the property's been vacant since October. It is now the 17th of May. You look at that switch plate, you know, and any tenant that's going to rent this property is going to be a low quality tenant. You know, that's problem A. Problem B is it's very clear that the landlord nor the property management company cares about the property. They're not respectful of the property. And why should the tenant be? So you're basically kind of positioning yourself to get a really horrible tenant. You're positioning yourself to get a real horrible relationship with the tenant. If this is how you're handing the tenant the property, you know, let me flip it over. I mean, if this is the property you're giving these tenants, why should they actually engage respectfully to your property or even to you? You know, and then, so again, how you get around this is it's absolutely paramount that if you cannot see your property in person, and I can understand how that's most cases you can't see the property in person, anytime these property management company is doing work in the property, you should actually, from us, you typically will get before photos. So if a tenant submits maintenance request, you'll actually see any photos they submit. So you're seeing what the problem is. And then the contractors that we recommend to do work, they submit photos. So be it roof work or painting, anything along the lines of that. And then when you have a tenant, such as I'm in here doing an inspection now, that will actually be a report that goes to the owner. So we're doing our onboarding inspection. Anytime a tenant moves out, we'll do a move out inspection. And that includes very elaborate photos. So you as the owner, it's your job to look at the work. So again, if you're having work done on a roof, I mean, we're not expecting you to go up 4 or 5 stories onto a roof, but the roofer will take photos and you can look over the photos, and the photos should really explain, was this good work? Was this sufficient? Is it adequate or not? So if you're going to use a property management company, and I own a property management company, I feel that you should use a property management company. Absolutely positively, by the way, this property management company is one of the larger ones in the city. It's a recognizable name, but I'm not trying to attack this owner. They actually have a 3.1 rating on Google. And it seems as though the owner didn't do their due diligence. So if you're going to get a property management company, you can't just be fully passive. You actually have to do your due diligence, go on, check reviews. Just don't look at the reviews, open them up. You're going to actually see, if you go to see our reviews, excuse me, with a shop reviewed company in Philadelphia, but every property management company is going to have bad reviews. Every time we turn down a tenant, every time a tenant is not a candidate from one of our units, and we have to turn them down, they're going to go onto Google and they're going to give us a 1-star review. So when you actually go through and open up these reviews, it's going to tell you a story. And you need to spend the 10 minutes going through some of these reviews, the top reviews, the 1-star reviews. I always like to look at the 3 and 4-star reviews to get kind of an accurate story. And you'll be able to see, is this company a good option or not? I mean, if it's 3.1 stars and, companies like mine, we're right now, I think might be at 4.9 or 4.8 reviews. I just don't, you have to do your due diligence finding them. But once you have a property management company, once you're utilizing that property management company, it is your job to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And in this case, you absolutely positively need to be getting photos from the property management company. So when you're actually looking for a property management company, paramount for you to ask them, how often are you going to inspect the property? At what points will you inspect the property? When a tenant moves out, do you do an inspection? Do you do an inspection every 3 months, every 6 months, every year? And find out, when they do an inspection, what does that entail? Will they take photos? Will you be able to see those photos? And you absolutely positively need to have a property management company. Only engage with one that actually is going to give you photos of your property so you can see the condition of the work that was done, and how tenants left it. And also, the photos on the move-out inspection, it's not just about contractors, it's also showing the property management company. Because when I send you the photos of our move-out inspection, and the photos can be god-awful because we're showing every little thing that a tenant did to your property. But that's your chance to judge me and my company. That's your chance to see if the property management company found you a good tenant or if they did not find you a good tenant. So if you're actually seeing all this damage to the property and the security deposit isn't covering it, then you perhaps did not have a good option, did not select a good option with property management companies. All right, so again, photos. Look at photos of the work that is done and keep an eye, and that's your way of keeping an eye on the property management company. All right, as usual, happy real estate investing.